Alright, well, I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna unmute us and say hello to everybody who's here that might be listening. I'm joined by Derubael and Uberbandit and Knix, and they should all say hi to you guys. Say hi, guys.
What a
Okay.
rousing response.
Well, I have to get
Whoa,
Twitch
Twitch
chat
goes
up.
review.
I can't.
Alright.
Hold on. The stream is on break, because I need to get the Twitch chat up.
We call that
Clearly
a
does
fail
not.
here on P99.
Well, see, the amounts of fucks that I give. If you could imagine
Are
imaginary
they even
fucks.
quantifiable, Uberbandit?
I don't know. I don't really like imaginary numbers.
Okay. So there are 0 imaginary fucks given.
Well,
If
it's a
I'm understanding.
non-zero integer, but God knows what it is. If you could
That's
imagine
hardly
imaginary,
enough for me.
so ask him.
I accept this answer.
I didn't have my stream muted.
Chat is disabled for this channel.
You should hit F5. The Twitch page was lagging a bit earlier. It was doing that to me too.
I didn't have it muted either. I just got blasted with noise.
Me too. I am really fucking loud.
That's okay. That's okay. Everybody needs to hear what you say. So
I don't hear super loud. You guys all sound normal to me.
It's because I had to turn the volume up because things are being done. They're being done. Wait, where the?
So we're gonna try again. Nick, say hi to people.
Hi, people.
That's good. That is a good job. Derubael, say hi to people.
Hola.
I feel like you did worse than she did.
This is okay.
Uberbandit, say hi to people.
Why? What's my motivation?
You're not muted.
Really? Are you sure this time? Wait, yes I am because I heard myself.
I checked. Say hi real quick. I have to answer the phone.
Isn't everybody finished saying hi?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a hello.
We're done. The stream is
it.
over.
Yep.
Good night, folks.
Hellos have been said. Phones have been answered.
We are through. I renounce these shenanigans and declare Sirken's Twitch stream dead.
It's pretty dead. No one said hi to me in Twitch chat. That makes me feel bad. I feel bad, I mean, makes me look at my other monitor and continue what I was doing.
We have all kinds of fun things to talk about tonight.
Do we?
We have, yes. We have big plans for Twitch stream number 50, whatever this is.
Oh, wait, we're numbering them?
I don't know. That's a good question. You'd have to ask Sirken. He deals with all that stuff. I just share my wonderful voice with Twitch.tv.
So did you and Sloan come to some type of agreement on rotation?
We're gonna go ahead and just make all redheads FTE. And we're gonna rotate the blondes and the brunettes. We feel like everybody should get a chance to experience the lesser hair colors. And when it comes to the most coveted hair color, which is obviously red, we feel like the people who put in the most effort should get the most reward.
That color is debatable.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's pretty fucking debatable.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
You've been overruled, sir.
No, that's not how that works.
You have no authority here.
I have all the authority.
No, this is where you call him a casual, right?
Casual scum.
Flippy confirmed Sirken did not quit P99 staff.
What?
Hey, it's in the chat room. That's a thing.
Was that a thing at some point?
Apparently, that's what he heard.
You have been banned for dunking too hard on the forum, Sirken.
No one's been throwing the ball up for me to alley-oop the last couple days. I gave someone a very professional response and it just seemed wrong. I'm like, this is not like me at all.
I think Autotune, when he took your statement, and he made it yours or something. It made it sound like he was quoting you.
Yeah, he finally noticed that I ninja edited his signature.
Misquotes are a popular pastime on Project 1989.
As one of the people who can change people's signatures, probably not the person you want to misquote, because I can make you say much worse things.
I like to ninja edit people's sigs. I
Yeah.
don't think that's that bad.
Oh, no, that's what he did after what I did.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yes. How do you feel about the rotation with you getting every third redhead, Sloan getting the third,
Unacceptable.
and then the free for all?
Unacceptable. That is boob hair color socialism, and I will not be a part of it.
Interesting. I really thought you would enjoy that. I mean, I feel everybody should experience, should have the redhead experience. And
Well,
I feel
I feel like
you're trying to monopolize all the redheads.
Fucking
that's
don't
the
do it.
point.
They're all crazy. Just look
That's
at Knix.
no. This is true. All redheads are crazy.
Hey,
Totally not relevant. Totally not relevant to their desirability as a raid target. It's important to remember that the people who are willing to put in more effort to get redheads deserve to get all the redheads.
I'm pretty sure that redheads have been around long enough to where if they're still going after redheads, they should just be given a chance to have redheads.
It sounds like communism to me.
Now, hold on. I think you need to establish, like, what type of presence you need at a redhead in order for it to be claimed.
Well, if you've unzipped your shit and put it on the table, I would say that redhead is yours.
What if I just walk around unzipped?
Then you are clearly trying to rule layer the system, and you will be banned.
You know, coincidentally, the first thing Uberbandit said to me was that he was taking his pants off for the stream.
Whoa!
So
Yeah, but they're shocker sorts, so they weren't zippers.
Full disclosure.
I'm just
we
saying
do
he
not-
might automatically have dibs on all the redheads already.
That's fine, because I will have them and I don't want them. Save the redheads.
You can trade them to our Derubael for favoritism.
I don't need to. He is the redhead raider. I don't need none of that.
Real redhead trading.
Real redhead trades.
That could be a thing. Speaking of things that can be things, this is still very much in the works, and I wouldn't hold your breath. But me and Derubael have put our heads together, and we're going to try to bring you the first P99 reality TV show. We're gonna need anyone who RMTs on P99. Please send me and Derubael a private message, letting us know you're an RMTer. And what we're gonna do is start a TV show called Real RMTers of P99. We have different factions, we have different groups. We got people going solo. We've got the fuzz around every corner trying to catch these people. We've got inner syndicate drama. I think it's better than the duck people. I think it's better than the gold digging people. I think it's better than the Real Housewives of sport athlete peoples.
We're pretty sure it might just be the greatest reality TV show ever pitched.
And we have plots. We already
We have
episodes
storylines.
planned.
We do. We can go back and redo older storylines that have already happened, and then there's going to be a wealth of content to experience in the future. We guarantee it.
The band thread to TV show adaptation is looking really good so far.
It is. And keep in mind, we control all the drama because we control the banhammer. So we can influence the factions and the way that things unfold based on who we ban.
Is this T99?
What?
Did I just blow this open? This is T99.
What?
No, we're talking about our reality TV show surrounding the RMT scene of P99.
Oh, well, fuck Blue.
You play on Blue.
Yeah, right?
I don't play on shit.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Oh, you know you'd watch our show.
I'd play on teams.
Come on. We need a couple people. We need I don't want to name fucking RMT sites, so I won't name them. But there's like 3 or 4 big ones. There's some household names. We need to get them all together. We already know they RMT. We know this. So just get in touch with us. We'll start our reality show. We'll all get rich. And then I can drive around in fucking Lamborghinis with fucking supermodels throwing just $100 bills out the fucking sunroof.
We have already got our first tell from an RMTer who wants to be on the real RMT. The real RMTers of P99.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm gonna have to do a background check first just to make sure you are in fact an RMTer, sir. Because we can't let any wannabes on this show. There's a minimum amount required before you can be considered for the real RMTers.
Just so all the RMTers at home know, have we decided on an amount yet?
No. I don't think we've set a limit. I think it's important to note that we are an equal opportunity TV show, and we're not going to discriminate just because you're one person. If you're not part of an RMT crime family, that's okay. We're still going to consider you. But you got to prove that you've got some sales under your belt. You know what I mean? There's got to be something there. We don't just want some guy who's like, I sold one fungi tunic to somebody. You're probably not going to make the cut.
Right. We
But
appreciate
you don't have to be
your
Flat
effort.
Lord, but you have to at least be TMO.
Well, certain members might have qualified.
Pardon?
Certain members.
I
Certain
don't
ex-members.
Certain ex-members absolutely fucking qualify.
Because I do know you guys boot people when they're discovered cheating.
Yes.
And I will applaud you for that. But
Yes, we do.
definitely an ex-TMO member would qualify. I won't name names because I don't want to give him infamy. That's bad popularity, in case you guys didn't know.
Well known for evil deeds.
Derubael, will you do me a favor?
What's that?
I'm afraid to go to YouTube because I'm afraid if I touch anything, my computer will just fucking explode.
That is a consequence of Twades.
It's a thing that could happen. I'm getting my computer tested for Twades in the morning, first thing in the morning.
I hear that they have to insert a long stick inside of its disk drive.
You know what? I haven't told it any of these things, so he thinks it's just like a regular checkup. And he's like,
he thinks
"That's
you're going
weird."
for a drive. He's like, hey, we're going in the car. It's going to be great. Yeah.
He has no idea what's going to happen to him. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you... Oh, man, my real-life friend just... I have one real-life friend on Skype, and he never messages me. Never. And he just now messaged me.
That's not good.
Hey, buddy.
Someone's probably dead.
No, he's so... I'm not even kidding. He kind of looks like Rocky in, like, Rocky 2.
Oh, damn.
Not, like, steroided out, just, like, the face. He looks Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 2, and so I call him my Italian racial slur, and he just thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. So, that's a thing. I'm going to tell him I can't chit-chat with him. I'm doing very important things.
Slurs are the best terms of
Oh my god, Derubael!
What?
I need you to do me a goddamn favor.
YouTube something, yes.
YouTube, the Brazilian person, I need you to go ahead and put that link in chat so that we can discuss that real quick.
Oh, I see what
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't need to go to YouTube to pull that up.
Oh, you just have that?
That's in server
Are you
chat.
talking about that
Don't ruin it. You know
Don't
what
ruin
it is. You know exactly what it is. We'll talk about it as soon as I see the link in chat, because I know there's a delay, but it didn't seem too bad tonight, actually. It seemed like less than 20 seconds. So that's kind of good. Speaking
Are you
of...
going to be in game tonight?
Am I? If I was, I'd probably have my tells turned off.
Boom. Some brutal honesty right there.
Because people send me tells, and I'm in a submarine. I'm running EQ off a 3G Android, and it cannot handle all that. I think there's a leak in the submarine, to be perfectly honest. So last week we had major maintenance. That's why we didn't stream last week. I'm really sorry we didn't stream last week. I wanted to, and then Archer came on, and it was a whole fucking thing, and it just didn't happen.
I thought we did stream. Didn't we try or something?
Um,
Oh no, we all just said fuck it.
I think we
I
all
remember.
just were like, meh. 2 weeks ago we had all kinds of trouble,
See, I
and
wasn't there. I would have kept the show alive.
you
See,
know,
that's
I
why
think-
it feels like we haven't streamed in a while.
I think Uberbandit might have DDoSed the stream 2 weeks ago.
Where was I 2 weeks ago?
There is the link.
Did you put it in Skype chat or in?
Oh no, I put it in the Twitch chat. Was I not supposed to do that?
I don't see
No,
it.
I don't see it
I-
though. That's why I'm asking.
In the Twitch chat?
Yeah.
You did it wrong.
No, I did it just fine.
I don't know. I might have to overrule you on this. Put it in.
Maybe you have special linking powers.
Alright, I will use my special magic linking powers to say kaboom! Did it show up for you guys?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it did.
Alright, everybody, you need to click that link right now. And Uberbandit, if you haven't seen it, you should probably click that link right now too. Knix, I'm sure you've seen it. I know me and Derubael have fucking giggled like little girls over this fucking thing. This video is a thing. And at first I was watching it and I was expecting like obvious voice dubbed over kind of message giving stuff. But I don't think it was. And then there's writing on the paper, and the paper was in the jar, so clearly it could not have been tampered with. That's just science. And so now
That's not very sanitary.
I'm terrified to go to Thurgadon, and I'm terrified for Velius to come out. I'm not sure if that's a threat or a promise or like I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen when Velius comes out, and I'm scared.
I'm not sure if they're trying to tell us that if we don't unban Toon Inspector, we're gonna get jumped when we go to Thurgadon, or if we do unban Toon Inspector, we're gonna have a party when we get to Thurgadon. I'm not really sure. The message isn't really all that clear, which is why it's even more frightening than if we knew what it was.
I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. What else? What else can we talk about? We can talk about the
That's the water. It's going back into. That's not sanitary. The water, like you can't just fucking run it all over your body and then put it back in the well. That's not how that shit works.
What makes you think that that's an actual, like, a well? Maybe that's
You
the
can
washing
see
hole.
some wood structure there.
I feel like that's just like a step built into a watering hole.
Well,
Yeah.
fucking look. Then you're ruining perfectly good drinking water.
What makes
Well
you think it
water
was
is
drinking water to begin with?
delicious. Because well water is the shit. If you get rid of the worms first.
None of that sounds legit.
If you get rid of the worms first.
I don't want any water that has to be dewormed before I drink it.
No.
Isn't pretty much all water dewormed before we drink it? Isn't that how water treatment works?
I don't know, but I feel like there's just never worms in my water. I feel like that's absolutely not a thing that's happening.
You're a very optimistic individual.
I like to think that we got the water thing taken care of. We have other problems.
Like running out of it?
No, I'm not worried about running out of water. We have a gigantic lake right next to us. If anything, we're going to hoard all the water when everyone else runs out, and we're all going to be rich as shit.
You know what that water is full of?
Dead people.
Fish semen.
Worms.
Dead people. It's fucking Chicago, of course it's filled with dead people.
That's what I think of. Like, people are like, why don't you go swimming in the lake? I'm like, I think there's dead people in there. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, god damn it. So, I feel like we should at least mention that people should check out the Pantheon off-topic thread on the forums. If
Yeah.
anyone's interested in that, there's a lot of good information. I know some people that work on the game have actually visited that thread, so they're interacting with people that are interested in the game. There's links in there to all their Q&A videos. There's links in there to radio interviews. So you should go there and you should check all those things out. They have a Kickstarter. The whole game is being funded so far by Kickstarter, so go check that out too. They need all the help they can get, and it's something I'm personally looking forward to. So go check that out.
Can you explain a little bit about what it is? Because I actually have no idea.
Oh man, it's go ahead, Derby. I have to take a phone call real quick.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, everybody knows who Brad McQuaid is, one of the original designers on EverQuest, creators actually, and that is his latest project. Him and his development team, they are attempting to make an MMORPG that maybe goes a little backwards instead of forwards. Maybe is a little bit more like EverQuest than what's recently come out these past few years. And it's all going to be crowdsourced to begin with, which means the development team has a lot more control on the creative process. So there's no risk of some big publisher swooping in and suddenly being like, no, you have to do it this way, and screwing up their original vision. And with everything that we've seen, it's looking pretty good. We are hopeful that it will turn out to be good. But we will see.
So if he is works for Sony and all that stuff, why doesn't he just fund it himself?
He does not work for Sony. Brad McQuaid hasn't worked for Sony in years. And he's got his own, this is his own, they are their own developer. They're not a publishing company, they don't have a publishing company. They're their own developer. They're working on the game, trying to get it funded, getting things set up, that kind of stuff. But no, he's not a part of SOE anymore. But go ahead and visit their Kickstarter, take a look, see what you think. There's a lot of really good people working on that project. I can't think of any names off the top of my head right now, but I was looking at their head staff, their management, and they're all good people with a lot of experience in making games and making good games. So it's definitely worth checking out. And it's something that they all want to make a game, it looks like, that's a little more challenging, a little closer to what MMORPGs when they first started out were, and try and get away from the WoW trend that's been plaguing the industry. And yes, Vision gets screwed after people start making money. But usually it's not screwed by the developers. That's the key to remember here. It's screwed over by other people who come in who, maybe have some stake in what the game is making. SOE is a good example of that, since the original EverQuest, while developed by Verant, was published by Sony Online Entertainment. And when SOE found out how much money this shit was making, they pretty much came in and took over creative control. And that's why you saw EverQuest go to shit pretty quick after they started making big bucks. Because they were trying to cater to a wider audience, which never works. And, well, okay, it doesn't never work. But generally a bad idea depending on what you're going for. And SOE walked in and kind of just screwed the whole thing.
You mean like trying to the wider audience of casuals and hardcore gamers?
That is an analogy that draws no parallels to anything that is currently going on Project 1999. So I cannot comment to the validity of that statement. But yeah,
Sounds interesting.
It does look interesting, and it's really important to remember that as a crowdsourced project, that's a huge key to why this might end up being successful. I don't know if you guys heard of the shenanigans that happened with Vanguard, but Vanguard pretty much got their funding pulled. Another publisher who will not be named picked the project up and then rushed it out the door. And because they rushed it out the door, it ended up being complete shit, with lots of bugs and all kinds of problems. So it being crowdsourced is a big deal because it's going to allow the development team to hold creative control over the project even after release. And keep in mind that, you know, Kickstarter projects for these big games, like recently, I'm not going to be able to remember his name, which really pisses me off. But recently, another big name in the gaming industry did a Kickstarter project and ended up getting quite a bit of money. But even if you get, let's say you have a ridiculous goal, so you have $4 million for your Kickstarter project, if you're making a big open world MMO kind of game, $4 million is not going to do it. It's not enough for your budget. But what this Kickstarter project does is it allows them to show investors that people are interested in the game, and they still will retain creative control because they don't need to go with a publishing house or a publishing company. So crowdsourcing a project like this is kind of a big deal, and if you want to vote with your dollars, if you want to tell the MMO industry that you want games that are more like EverQuest, this is your best option because these people feel the same way that you guys all do. So that's where you need to go and look at, and these Kickstarter projects are a big deal because you don't have to answer to a publisher, or rather the developer doesn't have to answer to a publisher. They get to do what they want when they want, until the money runs out, pretty much. So if you get a good team, like it looks like Pantheon probably has, you've got a safe bet. You got a safe bet for your money. You've got a safe place to put your dollar to vote and say, I want this. I want more of this. And that's the only way you're going to influence the industry. If you don't do that, you're just going to keep getting shit. People are still just going to keep making WoW clones. And I think everybody's pretty sick of that.
A plus. A plus.
Yeah, that was my Kickstarter spiel. We were talking about Pantheon, by the way, Ashen Blades, but you are about 1 minute too late. I finished my spiel before you got here. We're talking about Pantheon and Kickstarter. And I'll put up a link in the chat just so that you guys can go take a look at it if you haven't already.
I see we lost Uberbandit.
Is that what happened? I was wondering why he was being so quiet.
Yeah, we lost him. He's no longer on Skype, so we lost him.
That's okay.
Is it okay? My heart aches.
Did you give him Twades? Did it change into Scades? Like halfway through? Your Twades got you Scades, and then your Scades spread to Uberbandit?
It's possible, but I mean, he knew what my computer had. If he went and just ignored that and rolled the dice, I feel like he kind of deserves what he gets.
Yeah, clearly he had an unprotected connection to your computer.
And worms in the drinking water.
And worms in the drinking water. I don't know, maybe the worms killed him.
Someone should tell him that that's not okay. I feel like someone's been lying to him for a long time. Like, no, everybody has worms in their water. It's fine.
Well, I'm pretty sure that some worms are considered safe for human consumption.
That's not what I want to hear.
Like earthworms?
Yeah, I agree.
Pretty sure earthworms are legit and good to go. You could have little bits of earthworms in your drinking water right now, and I don't think it would affect you.
Interesting.
But if you're gonna drink something like the worms you would get from uncooked pork, yeah, not a good idea.
You don't say.
If you live in a third world country, please boil your water prior to drinking it.
That's all good advice.
The more you know.
Well, you know, safety first. That's what we talk about here on the stream.
Safety first is what we talk about on the stream.
Yeah, we're all about helping people.
Yeah, no, I'm into that.
Like when you're posting gigantic fucking mem storyboards.
I really wish I could share that GIF I made with everybody, but Rogan was like, "Nah." God damn it!
Is it
So why you
you,
talk about it then? Because I want to see it.
can't you just make it without the names?
It's not the names that's the problem.
What's
It's the entire event and situation.
Can't you just parody the event to something a little different?
I would have to redo the whole thing.
God damn it.
It kind of loses its flavor if you do that. You know what I mean? Like, the whole thing is like, you know, this guy pulled a Luke Skywalker and blew up the Death Star, figuratively speaking, of course, and saved the galaxy. And I don't know how else I could draw a parallel to that without the situation that I provided in the GIF.
Do you think people would be smart enough to just figure it out?
I don't know.
Oh
How could
man.
that? They're talking about Eunomia. How could somebody be mean to her? She's just so sweet.
Oh well, sometimes people are dicks.
Yeah.
That's
These things happen.
I don't know how anyone could be rude to any of our fine CSR staff, because I think they are all fine, upstanding people.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't, they wouldn't be on the staff.
Nope. We have a very thorough screening process.
Well, you two are my favorites, so there you go.
Oh,
Well,
there's
we
a
like
joke
you
there.
too, Knix.
Oh, it was too easy. And Derubael just blasted it out of the park. He's like, I don't care, I'm taking this one.
Of course.
Oh, well, for what it's worth, of all the players, oh wait, that would be favoritism. For what it's worth, I think me and Derubael are probably my favorites as well.
We don't even play.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I had to edit my statement on the fly. I already started.
But is that favoritism or corruption?
If I like me and you better than everyone else,
I feel like that's more like corruption than favoritism.
it's a fine line between the two.
I don't think it's a fine line. I'm pretty sure that's just straight up corruption. I don't think there's any other way to classify that.
God damn it. Oh, god damn it. So, for all you ladies out there, we're also talking about spin-off, The Real Housewives of P99 players. So, all you married guys, tell your wives to contact me and Derubael, and we will get them set up on our reality TV show. Does that sound bad? I didn't mean it to sound bad.
We meant it as a legitimate request to have all of your wives email us and request to be
I hear
on.
it now. I hear it now when you're saying it.
Gonna need them all to email us. We have a screening process. It's not that intensive, but they may be required to get naked prior to being on the show.
You can contact HR by emailing Derubael at justthetip.com. Oh, god damn it. So, that's all things.
Yeah, no, I feel like Real Housewives of P99 would be a runaway success.
I feel like it would. I feel like it absolutely would. Would that be considered RMT?
I don't know.
Because I would absolutely start driving to the P99 office building in a Lamborghini.
I feel like that's not RMT.
We might be able to buy a whole new office building, Derubael. Did you even think about that?
Well, our office building right now is pretty run down.
I can get a parking spot for the submarine.
I'll tell you what, I have not been able to get a corner office in the P99 headquarters since I started working here.
Do you want to know a secret? Rogan has all the corner offices.
What?
He doesn't give a fuck. He takes them all.
So are you telling me that spiel about how he wanted to take the office closest to the bathroom because it was the nastiest since you're always next to the people who are using the restroom? Are you telling me that was false charity?
That is absolutely what I'm telling you. That is inside dirt right there.
What a fucking scum.
Yeah.
Fuck Rogan.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's taking the corner offices and he doesn't give a shit.
God damn. That guy.
What can you do? What can you do? So don't hold your breath on a corner office. But if we get a new building, hey,
New building?
we might all get our own parking spots.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's worth it all by itself. Forget the Lamborghini.
Maybe a private elevator.
I want to be able to park my Vespa in a private park.
I'd say, well, wouldn't you need to fly over? Because you're far away from them.
Well,
it's a hell of a commute, but I mean, I'd have a Lamborghini, so it wouldn't take too long.
Sirken,
Put a power bar in the gas tank.
You're thinking too small, my friend. Forget the Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a private jet.
Oh man. These shows better be very successful.
Oh, they will be. We're gonna buy a G3. We're just gonna fly over there. We'll start up in my corner of the U.S. since I'm the furthest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll swoop down. I'll pick you up. I'll get Eunomia first. Then I'll pick you up in Chicago, and then we'll just hop right over to. God, I was almost gonna screw up. Hop right over to Massachusetts, and that'll be our commute.
So you think Eunomia would be in on the Real Housewives of P99?
No, that's just for commuting to and from the office.
Right. No, we would never
okay.
exploit our staff. I mean, we would never use our staff members in a TV show.
We might. I mean, you might see some cameo staff appearances on the real RMTers of P99 from time to time. I wouldn't be surprised they show up with some warrants at some RMTer's house. It could happen. Give me all your pixels.
We don't even fucking need warrants, dude. We're like the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA all rolled into one.
I kind of just want to make the warrants just for fun.
This is for the show.
Yeah, I mean, get some MS Paint, get a printer, boom, warrants.
We show up in the EC tunnel. We're like, you're being you've got a fucking warrant.
Oh my god.
Put all the fucking platinum on the ground. I can't drop platinum. We don't fucking care. Put it on the ground.
I'm gonna make P99 badges on MS Paint.
Hit the fucking duck key right now. Get on the fucking ground. We're confiscating all of your pixels. That mule right there, we know he's working with you. We're confiscating him too.
Oh, god damn it. Your neighbor, we're confiscating him.
And we're taking your wife to be on our show. You have been fucked. I just got bent over by the P99 FBI.
Next day, you have a petition that says, I'll see you in court.
I'm an RMTer and I'm out of control.
That might be something interesting for the forums. What would happen if you opened up a new page for the forums that was people who felt like they could wanted to air their plea to be unbanned to you guys in the public?
We don't want them to
sounds
do that
like the
at
dumbest
all.
thing I've ever heard. Yeah,
that's a bad idea.
I'm gonna let you know that there is no such thing as there's no fucking what do you call it? There is no public parole process. It doesn't work that way.
No pleading.
Yeah, sadly we don't. What's a nice way to say we don't give a shit about what the players think?
Unquantifiable number of fucks.
We have an internal process that we go through very diligently and feel it's just best to stick to that.
Makes sense. It would just be entertaining.
Nilbog actually has a very entertaining idea for what to do to people that get banned.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. We endorse public executions here on P99, as well as the displaying of corpses after the execution, somewhere very public, like the EC tunnel. We'll make an event of it when somebody gets banned. Like, let's say we ban somebody in an RMT crime family. We're gonna put them on display. We're gonna put their main's corpse in the EC tunnel. We're gonna string it up. After we have the tribunal come and chop off their head.
Sounds A+ to me.
And by the way, that FBI guild on P99, the all-gnome one, what's the deal with that? Why would you make an all-gnome guild and not name it something
Pretty
more
cool.
gnomey?
Why wouldn't you make an all-gnome guild?
No. I'm all for an all-gnome guild. I just don't know why you call it the FBI. This confuses me greatly.
Oh, God. Hey,
I think,
how do you feel about Unbrella?
what, adding Umbrella?
Well, I meant as a person, but
That's just a weird question.
why
How
is
do
that
you
a weird
feel
question?
about Umbrella?
That's not a
Well,
weird question.
let me tell you how I feel about Umbrella, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's a weird question. Umbrella's a good guy, good guild leader.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Very,
I
very
invited him to the
professional.
call. He's here now.
Ah, see, I knew that's what you were trying to ask.
That's
What
what I'm
happened?
doing. Hi, Umbrella.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, buddy? Pretty sure that you caught him just waking up. Possibly after doing a shot of heroin. I'm not really sure right now.
Me or Knix?
You. And now it sounds like he's rolling a blunt. So good time.
I guess my mic's too loud.
He is rolling a blunt. Excellent.
I'm not rolling a blunt.
Well timed.
I can't believe they can hear that. I gotta turn this shit down.
I was crumpling up some cellophane from some sushi I ordered earlier.
That sounds very believable.
I know, likely story.
I mean, if you're gonna come up with an excuse,
I guess, hey.
at least make it something better than sushi.
Fact is stranger than fiction.
Oh, Umbrella, how have things been since we've last had you on our wonderful stream? So much has happened and changed.
No comment. I enjoy playing here.
Did you hear that?
Rogan doesn't watch this, does he?
No comment. I enjoy playing. This guy is a PR master.
A+. That's the best answer ever to any
What's-
question.
How are you guys doing on your side of the fence? Have the petition subsided like you've
We are
wanted?
always excellent. We enjoy staffing here.
Oh,
All right, so I feel like we're both completely on the same page.
God damn it.
Are you looking forward to Tiggle's new troll, his troll Twitch?
Oh, you mean in the sock with Tickle?
Is that what he's actually going with?
I don't know.
He does, because that's probably the greatest name ever.
What's your stream, Sirken P99?
Sirken P99. That's where you can find me. And that's also my YouTube channel. You can find me over there.
I can watch all the fraps I've sent you over the years.
I should just upload all of it. Be like, this is what I have to deal with.
Can we just get a Versager highlight reel?
Oh my god.
We actually have a Versiger soundboard up on our website somewhere.
Is
Damn it,
it
I have to
pronounced
fucking-
Versager?
Yeah, he
Are
calls
you
himself
sure?
Versiger.
Are you sure it's a Versager soundboard and not just an Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard? That you guys
It's
passed
pretty
off?
funny. I forgot who did it. Someone in our guild took just went through all the fraps over the year and just pieced together whole sentences of them.
He has some great fucking quotes. Even just all by themselves, that guy says some funny shit.
You gotta listen to his rants.
Oh, I've never heard anything like. I've only heard like little bits and pieces from the videos that I've watched in raid disputes.
Sometimes you think he goes wild on a raid dispute, you got to hear him on a kill. His excitement is just overwhelming.
Oh, we've heard him on a kill. One of my favorite Versager quotes ever is the day that Sloan told FE and IB to engage Gorinair, and everybody's like, "Should we really be killing this mob?" And Versager's like, "Red Leader says engage, you engage." And I pretty much lost my shit when I heard that.
I think I'm in the background on that one too, screaming at people to shut the fuck up and kill it.
Yeah.
Stop asking questions.
That was a good video.
But Versager was hilarious. I actually have recollection of that one, and that is funny. Red Leader said engage, do it.
Burn it down, burn it down.
When Gore gets to like 30%, he starts flipping out the nuke shit. It's hilarious. So what's new? It's a light stream tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, we call it a casual stream. We rotate between casual and hardcore, and then every once in a while we do an FFA stream, and it works pretty well.
Nice. Sorry, just a little distracted. I'm trying to get up to Island 7. Doing a quick, 5-6 man sky run.
Pretty sure that Sirken just straight up muted us anyway, so don't worry about it.
I think so too. What do you say? He's got a call. Maybe he could help us out. Or you could help me out. Just summon us to 7.
Just summon us to 7?
I wouldn't mind.
That sounds like corruption to me. Or is it favoritism?
Did you see my comment in server chat?
No, what did you say in server chat?
It was something you were like, just my 2 plats worth of sense and the power leveling thing, and I was like, GM self-summoning plat RMT confirmed.
Oh, man. I think highly of my thoughts. They are worth far more than 2 copper pieces.
I've been keeping my opinions to myself these days.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Probably. It's getting a little heated the past couple weeks.
I'm 100% against P99 Nazi state, and I think people should be able to speak their minds. As most of the Red server well knows, when we got into an epic forum quest battle about a week ago over Toon getting banned, that lasted about a week.
I didn't catch that. What did he do?
He violated the PNP, and then he probably would have gotten unbanned pretty close to when he got banned. Like, it's not that big of a violation. But he went on the forums and he was like, "Fuck this ban! Fuck all of you!"
Wait, that's not J-And, is it?
No.
Because that was hilarious.
That meltdown was epic.
That was great.
I kind of feel bad for the guy. But, I'm sorry, it's just not the way to go about petitioning for things.
I think I bumped a petition for 15 days straight once, and then my last bump was just fuck it.
There's a big difference between bumping a petition and opening a petition by calling everybody crazy or lame or whatever it was that he said in that first petition. And then continuing to do so every 5 fucking minutes in the first hour your petition is open.
I don't read a lot of the RNFs, but it said something like J-And equals Minion 2.0, and I died. Were you here for the Minion manifesto?
I've seen all of it, yeah.
Oh man, that's by far the best RNF I've ever seen.
Yeah, that shit was great.
And that's going back, 3 years on RNF forums. That is just hands down the absolute best.
I think that one's probably the best. I think between 2013 and 2014, you've got Clear argues with Clear.
That's my second favorite.
Which is just fucking fantastic all the way through.
There's a difference, there's one man's meltdown is the Minion Manifesto, and then there's just sheer genius, and that's Clear argues with Clear.
Yeah, Clear argues with Clear was very well done. Probably one of the best trolls I've ever seen. Followed by one of the dumbest trolls I've ever seen. In the same fucking thread.
I think it's the Minion one's hilarious to me because it all started with me, his brother, and him camping fungi, camping king, and they were just scamming. They weren't opposing each other as brothers. They were just rolling on their same Like, they were just sharing roles, and at some point I was like, this is fucked up. There's some kind of, like, meltdown going on. And then I won one, and he refused to give me a fungi, so I was just like, fuck it. And then he joined BDA. And a bunch of people, because he had done it to a few people, flipped out about it in BDA, and I was at BDA at the time. And then Slidex ends up kicking him from the guild, and then making him run all the way to Dreadlands back to KC to invite him to kick him again.
That shit was just...
It's just priceless.
And then there's a long-ass video with that whole conversation after he gets invited and then kicked.
I have the part 2 of it. There's 2 of them, and I recorded the second event, but Mini Manifesto got locked and taken down before I could post it.
Yeah, I can still
It's
see
just
that.
continued, like, racist tirade meltdown. And apparently he's back online. He's back on YouTube doing, like, a cash prize giveaway or something.
Wow.
He's tenacious, that little one.
He is persistent. You gotta give him credit for being persistent. But that's the thing about most of these people who have public meltdowns. They're having a public meltdown because they're fucking persistent.
Yeah.
That's like their key feature. If they weren't persistent, they wouldn't be going public with their meltdown.
Just the whole situation was hilarious. Like, he's just A+ material. A+.
What are you guys doing in Sky? Or is it FE? It's not FE Sky Day, is it?
No, we're just doing a quick run. I think we're just going to kill I and leave.
Yeah.
Or no, we're going to do a few Bs and sisters and then leave. I don't know who goes up tonight. I think it's Indignation, but I don't know who that is.
That is a slightly newer raiding guild. Lots of good people, good leadership.
Can you define for me, since my terms are antiquated these days, what defines a raiding guild? Because it seems to me, in light of recent events, everyone qualifies as a raiding guild.
In my personal opinion, if you can take down any boss in Classic, you can be considered a raiding guild.
Okay.
And that includes, like, sub-bosses like Maestro and Draco.
So if a guild goes in there and just kills, like, Terror, Fright, and Dread, does that count?
I wouldn't really call that... Because here's the thing, is, like, you can go in and you can do a fear clear with less than 6 people. And it doesn't really make you a raiding guild. But I think being able to take out an actual target, like a mini-boss, like a Draco or a Maestro, or if you can kill any, or if you can take down Kazakh, I think that makes you a raiding guild.
I feel like you guys are having a little more of a hard time with the fine print on the other side of the fence as opposed to the Class Cs.
Well, fine
Validations of that.
Fine print is always a good thing in all situations. And we think that the fine print in this current situation is about as fine as it needs to be. And if everybody just follows the spirit of the fine print, we should be fine.
Can someone get this fucking corpse out of here? Sorry, just mumbling to myself. Our sewing circle got together the other day, and on behalf of what we think might be best for the server, I'm gonna post this up in server chat anyway, or in raid discussion, but I figured I'd run it by you real fast. Either way. Hold on, this is the first time I've been in this thread in a few days. No, nothing new. The bag limit of 2, last time I talked to Sirken, he said that 2 was an initial figure, and that you guys would monitor it for about a month and see how that works. Is that still...
I will give the opportunity for you to hear my personal opinion.
I would love to.
And hopefully not regret it later. In my personal opinion, I think that a 2 bag limit is fine, but I think it should only apply to FFA spawns and R-class spawns on a repop.
We only care about the FFA. I was talking to Mazum and myself and a couple of my other officers, and one of the things we thought would be better, because currently what we're doing, and it doesn't really matter how we pursue going further, whether IB and FE continue to raid together or raid separately, we're both fielding enough members to be FE versus IB versus TMO. So But right now, currently, what we're doing is we break away from the IB on the repops to capture that 2 bag limit. So 2, 2, and 2. That's the 6 FFAs, or 6 FFAs typically, right? We thought it would be better, and TMO's even in agreement with it. Actually, I don't know. I never got confirmation from Zagam, but if I hear back from him and he's in favor of it, our proposal would be that on FFAs, the bag limit is increased to 3. It equalizes what's being given to FEIB and to TMO, and what it does is it removes that limitation from... If you think about in terms of mobilization, it's a lot easier for 3 guilds to go after their 2 targets each, right? I mean, we could all hop in Vent, me, myself, TMO, and FE, or an IB rather, and say, okay, these are the 6 targets we're going after. We're each going to get 2. We're each going to get 2, and then we're going to head to VP, and we'll figure out, what we want to do once we're there. It kind of cuts away a lot of the opportunity for lesser guilds on those FFA mobs, because it's a lot easier for us to mobilize for only 2, kill the first, and go right for the second. If FE and IB pair up, are like sold as a single entity, and TMO is a single entity, and we only go for 3 each, it's the same amount, but the likelihood that other guilds are going to get the mobs that we're going for last is much greater.
So you're saying that you'd like to see a 3 bag limit?
Only on repops, though. Only on repop days. That's all we really care about.
So you're proposing a 3 bag limit on repop days, and then treat FEIB as a single entity?
For the most part.
Okay.
Because currently what we do is we're 2 separate entities on repop days and a single entity on, I guess you can call them window days.
So I have a question. As it stands right now, within this current system that we have implemented, are you saying that on repop days, the Class C guilds are essentially coordinating and going after separate spawns so you guys don't step on each other's toes?
I am not confirming that, no. Because
but you might be implying it.
I think maybe my verbiage was too alluded to that too much.
Okay, then can I just say that if that were happening,
there is no collusion.
If
however,
that was potentially occurring, can I just say that happening is a result of the system in place as it stands? Because it's kind of forcing you guys to play within a certain style that maybe you guys don't want to play as. And maybe you wouldn't have to if we didn't have a complicated raid system like we have in place right now.
I would say that the raid system that we're exposed to is not a result of our own addendums or agendas that we put forward, but we are playing as subject to the wills and the wants of another class of player, we're only adapting to the environment in which we've been constrained to recently.
I would say that's 100% accurate, and I think it mirrors everything that I just said. And yeah, I think that's part of the problem with a tiered rotation system.
Now, mind you, it's not to FE's interest, and I can't speak on behalf of IB or TMO, but I would assume that they feel the same way. It's not to our interest to game the system in any way. I think our days of... I don't really have much lawyering left in me. I've spent way too many hours on Skype with you and Sirken, and far too much time on the phone, in the car, while I'm out at bars with Sloan. I've pretty much traded celibacy for video games at some point in my life, simply for the lawyering. So we're not looking to game the system. We're not looking to lawyer any longer.
Is better than sex?
Sometimes.
Excellent.
It depends on who the sex is with.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Yikes.
Obviously, that person was not a redhead.
Oh, that's still on my bucket list, redhead.
Wait. See, this is why Sirken proposed a rotation on redheads for people like Unbrella who've not done a redhead yet.
Oh, it's simply by virtue of my own choice. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just pitiful. But be that as it may. So like I was saying, it's not necessarily in the war chest for TMO, IB, and FE to be colluding on which targets we're going to go for on which repop days. It's, I would say, been more of an understanding meets a coincidence on our priority targets versus TMO's priority targets versus IB's priority targets. And then, of course, we go into VP, and we've done everything we can to not step on each other's toes at this point. Any previous understandings or agreements that we've had in the past, and by past I mean as of today, backwards, doesn't necessarily mean anything going forward. Like I said, we're continuing to adapt in an environment in which has kind of been thrust upon us.
So you're saying that any unconfirmed cooperation between the Class C guilds, even though that is technically the competitive class, any cooperation is a result thereof of the current system.
I think a better way to understand it is we're well aware of Rogan's proposal that any bullshit's not going to be tolerated, and he's not above throwing bans out to anyone and everyone who tries to circumvent, skirt, lawyer, or even simply misunderstand the rules set before us. And I'll give you an example.
The world is your oyster, Unbrella.
Shuck it.
That was good. Sorry, go ahead. I'll stop derailing your spiels.
I forgot where I was. I'll give you an example. TMO has been a long-standing rival of mine, my guild, simply by nature or virtue of competitive spirit, but I don't think that their suspension in Plane of Fear was warranted. I think that that's been a long-term strategy, is to kite the zone, and if another guild gets in the way. I mean, we've had rulings on Sirken's behalf, rulings via Sirken and yourself before, like, well, hey, we submitted fraps, but you also know we've submitted fraps, TMO trained us, but then staff says, well, you guys know how the encounter goes. You kite the whole zone, and then you dump the kite somewhere. You shouldn't have been around where the kite was dumped necessarily, unless it's completely on purpose. Then it's warranted further investigation. But to say that that principle and that precedent was completely thrown out the window because of, what was it, A-Team or Azer Guard, one of those two, having a train dropped on them by TMO. I think, at least that's my understanding of what happened, the feedback that I've gotten from the various parties involved, and I just don't think that was warranted. I didn't see fraps from it, but I do think it was more generous to say, all right, TMO, sit the day out, as opposed to what we saw happen to BDA, take the week off. But, so anyway, like I said, as all of that has been evidenced, FE nor TMO nor IB really want to see that kind of misfortune befall us, because a 2-week suspension for our guilds is crippling. We have members. We haven't seen Versiger since the suspension ended, and he had one of the absolute highest raid attendances. And he's never taken guild. I think he's only taken one item from the guild since he joined. He just joined. He just raids for fun, and we have not seen him since. As well as a couple other members. I only bring his name up because you were talking about him before.
That is not good.
And I think TMO has seen a similar circumstance. I don't know if Knix can speak on behalf of that, but...
No, I do my best to not speak for TMO.
How is TMO doing with all of the new raid things that have happened, Knix?
I can only speak for myself, because I am not an officer, nor have any capacity to speak for TMO.
Well, we're all friends here.
And I don't have any common sense, so...
Nobody's going to misquote you or take your statements out of context or attribute them to TMO as a whole. So you feel free to share whatever insider infos on the current state of affairs within TMO that you would like.
I can tell you that it's taken a lot of fun out of the game for me. I can tell you that. A few times I felt like totally just walking away from the game. Like I said, I can only speak for myself, and I do know that there's a lot less things to do during the week, and I don't know, with all of them popping on the same day.
That's awful.
It's awful, and it's
That's
Tuesday while I'm at work.
Yeah, that happens at 5 o'clock during the week. People have jobs. They just got home. If it's 5 o'clock Eastern, the server's in Eastern time, that's 2 o'clock. Most people are still at work, although both guilds have excessive members that we can manage it. It's it's terrible on the days that the repop is happening, and then when everything comes, it's essentially we're getting 2 repops a week, because when things start to come into window, they're coming in so close together and sequentially that it's essentially a second repop. What was it, last week? We did 3 world bosses and then cleared all of VP, faded our, 5 world bosses, and then all of VP in a single day.
And there's considered a bag limit too, because we can only kill so many of them, right?
Only on repop days. Anyway, so from a leadership perspective, it's frustrating. From a membership perspective, it's frustrating. And I don't know how the Class Rs feel about it. I've been a little disconnected from that scene for a while now, but I can't imagine it's any better for them.
Well, I think they would probably debate you on that point, simply based on the fact that they're able to go after targets. I'm not going to say without any effort, but I will say with far less effort than they would have been required to in the past. So I think that they're probably happy just based off of that alone. But I would have to say that I understand where the majority of Class C, I'm not just talking about the guilds, but the people in those guilds themselves, I can see where the frustration would come, and I could see where maybe some of the fun is taken out of the game. Maybe you guys feel like you're not able to play the way you want to play. And maybe things are different and not working the way you would want them to.
What strikes me as interesting is people say that a single guild had a monopoly on the server for so long, and when I was on the other side of the fence, I would have said maybe I agreed to that, but my agreement would have been purely based on ignorance, and I'm not calling anybody else on the server ignorant, any other guilds, but when I say that, I mean it in the sense as though there was not much of an effort to even try to compete. People would just give up and say, no one wants to do that. But I don't necessarily agree with that, because Forceful Entry came from a guild that BDA was camping out, and we were poop socking, and I was a part of that. And we did have Anthrax is a good raid leader, despite he and I's misunderstandings. And I think Chess did a very good job when I was in BDA as well. Just we weren't fielding enough members in BDA to really compete with TMO. And sometimes when we would get legitimate attempts, we would wipe because of lack of experience at the time. I don't know what their current state is. I can't speak for them. But I'm just saying, in my experience, which was very limited, it was about a month to 6 weeks in BDA before FE started. So we started FE, and we started with only a handful of people, literally a handful, 5 to 6. And we logged on every time Trachanon popped. That's all we focused on for about a month. Every time he popped, we would log on. We'd log on at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, our respective time zones, to have TMO. There's always the members that are going to troll and laugh at us while we still have, crust in our eyes and we're yawning, and, our girlfriends or wives are yelling at us. There's babies crying in the background because we woke them up because of the goddamn bat phone. But we kept doing it. And then we went from 5 to 6 members to 10 members to 15 members to 20 members, and then we got our first kill, and then we got our first kill with only 16 people logged in. And effectively, within 4 months of forming FE, we had our first VP kill. Most of the people that came to the guild did not have keys. I didn't have a VP key when I came to FE. Only, I think, 3 or 4 of us did. I think Sloan was one of them, Shinka was one of them, maybe Dragon Fists, and then some others came from along the way. But to say that there weren't enough members on the server that were actually willing to compete or contest with why would you ask me for a res when you see them in Sky? Anyway, saying that there aren't enough people on the server that are willing to actually contest another guild that's been getting their lion's share of the content, it's hard to say that that's a monopoly. There are barriers to entry, but to say it's a true monopoly, that it's impossible to break through, I think FE has proven that that isn't so. I think much like Lord Bob is trying to prove in the Class R tiers.
I think I agree with pretty much everything you just said. I think that it's less of, it's not a lack of ability to be able to compete. It's not wanting to at all. And I think that something a lot of people are forgetting is that one guild dominating content, or one guild being the best, that is something that's happened on every server for every game imaginable since the beginning of MMORPGs. There's always going to be somebody who gets most of the mobs, or hits the content first, or just does everything. And that's something that you shouldn't discourage. You should either strive to match it if you want to see that content, if you want to have shots at those mobs or whatever. Or if you can't do that, then you should either join another guild, or you should reconsider what it is you're doing. I do think that it's important to note that I agree that everybody on this server, because of what it is and because of what its goals are, everybody on this server should get a chance to experience a little bit of raid content. They should see an innie, they should see a sev every once in a while, just because I think it's important that those people are able to experience that, because this is a server meant to let people experience the classic EverQuest. That being said, I don't think that we should sacrifice what you guys like as hardcores in order to give them that. I think that a balance is required between the two sides.
I think people play P99 because it's set up the way that it is. There's really no other game with open world any longer. I know Final Fantasy XI used to have that element, but I think that's gone to instance. So is every other MMO. People come here to compete for that, for those pixels that they have. And to me, it's not actually the pixels themselves. It's the, I don't sell any of my shit, so I can't say it's the explicit value, but the implicit, implied value is my time, not the value of it. So when I stand in EC and somebody says, hey man, nice legs, or nice belt, or whatever it is, like, yeah, well, this is how I spend my free time to earn it. When it just becomes, when the server becomes a mill for loot, it takes that sense of self-satisfaction away. That's my personal outlook on it. When I know that Donald's BPs are now going to be farmed by lower guilds because Trakanons are going to be handed to them in rotation, and a Donald's goes into EC instead of to a cleric that's going to use that towards Velius or farming in Sky or whatever it is that they may do, it's just going to become some kind of profit-bound item, which you very rarely see Donald's BPs or Cobalt BPs go for sale. I think there's actually one of each on the forums now, but those are few and far between. But when they're commoditized the way that they think that they are going to be, I think that's shameful and destructive to the server. But that's my opinion, which is apparently worth less than I thought it was at one point.
I think everybody on the server has had their ego put into check just a little bit in the last month or so.
I've gone from abusing the server to simply just focusing on abusing my guild mates, so.
Well, something that is a common trend among all guild leaders, and don't take any offense to this, Unbrella, because it's not a bad quality to have in a leader, but all guild leaders in all guilds, and most of their officers as well, on every game ever made, have very high opinions of themselves. And maybe have egos that are a little bit too large for their shoes. Which, like I said, is a good quality to have as a leader, but it also... Which
clearly I'm the exception.
It also creates, yes, this too, very important.
Yes, humility is my strongest virtue.
Humility is important, so is modesty. But it creates a lot of hilarious situations, and I can tell everybody listening right now that being a GM and having to essentially order a guild leader to do something creates some absolutely hilarious moments in the course of being on staff of any game. Because usually that doesn't fly so great.
I mean, I was giving it the old college try, putting my finest pearls of wisdom out on the raid discussion, and at some point, it was interesting that, when I look back and reflect, that every proposal that FEIB and TMO put forward. It was mostly FE and TMO. Myself, Mazum, Sloan, Zagum, Snacks, really sitting down and putting on paper what we thought would be absolute best for the server with, let's be honest, keeping some of our own interests preserved. But when we realized that every time we went back and looked at our proposals or drafted a completely new proposal, they weren't even open for discussion. It always came back to the 111 proposal or Divinity's proposal or whatever other proposals were out there. They never came back to trying to amend ours. It was just recreating based off key elements of Class R proposals. And then at some point, we started getting told by administration, I won't name names, that in essence we were being incorrigible and unreasonable. And then at some point, I think we tried the Sirken plan that lasted for a day. And then,
can we just say that plan was absolutely fucking brilliant, genius, and would have solved all of P99's woes for the rest of time in the raid scene?
Now, keeping my ego in check, I feel that Mazum and I's original plan was by far the absolute best plan. However,
I don't even remember what your original plan was because I don't
it was
keep
so
my ego
good.
in check.
But be that as it may, we do feel that the Sirken plan was a very strong second place contender.
He actually hates it that people call it the Sirken plan because really it was the Derubael Sirken Nilbog plan, and we prefer if everybody just calls it the Repop plan.
Find the Repop plan.
That plan was the best one to come out
Sirken
because
is very
it had
sensitive
repops.
about having his name attached to that plan. He has feelings about plans.
Why are people bitchy? Oh, let me see. Never mind. Day in the life. Where did Sirken go? Or did he just recognize that the conversation was turning to a point where maybe chastised for it later?
I kind of feel like well, you see, it's important when you have a Twitch stream and you're on the staff to know when to speak and when to not speak. That being said, I feel like he might have gotten murdered and could possibly just be laying on his keyboard right now, face down in a pool of blood.
And
we're going to assume the worst.
I don't know who Z Forrestal is on the forums on EC, but this raffle way of auctioning off items is absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah, I like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
I hate it, but I love it.
If I'm not mistaken, he's one of the casino guys.
Good for him. That's thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I showed up for his first raffle. I totally by accident. I just happened to see the thread, and went to where he was right as he was raffling everything off. And it turns out somebody that only bought 2 tickets won that raffle, which was kind of cool.
Actually, that is pretty cool. That's what I was thinking. I would buy like, $80K worth of tickets, numbers 1 through 80, and it would come up 81.
Yeah, oh yeah, it could happen. I mean, that random number generator, as everybody on P99 knows, it will fuck you in the worst of times. And being fucked by the random number generator is not a fun experience.
No, I think that's been the story of my EverQuest career, is just being fucked by /random. I don't think I've ever won anything on random.
No, I haven't either. Whenever I need to, I never roll over like a 5. And then when you're in some lobby group, and it's your first time on the server, and you're rolling on a piece of jade, that's when I roll like 100.
Yeah?
I'm like, yeah, I got that 5 platinum pieces gem.
Where's Shinko? Should add him to the call. Oh, he's not on Skype. That would have been
I legitimately cannot add people to Sirken's group conversations, and I don't know why. I've never been able to.
Even I can right here. Add people. Add to conversation. Oh well.
Let's talk about Shinko, because I heard there was, I don't know if you'd call it dissension, or if you would call it shaking things up. Maybe you just call it throwing somebody a bone. But I've heard that Shinko is no longer with FE.
Shinko is no longer an entity in Forceful Entry. He has no characters tagged within the guild to any capacity, but whether it be officer or member. I personally removed him.
and it's my understanding that he was previously one of your finest examples of an officer as well as a raid leader.
I don't know where you heard that. I think he's iconic.
So are you denying that Shinko is a good raid leader and a good officer? I will take your response as a no comment, sir. That being said,
in all honesty, I think one of the most loyal people I've ever met on this server, and I don't think I think there are some people in this conversation that would couldn't disagree with me more. But I think one of the most loyal people I've met on this server, and there is no honor amongst thieves on this server, is one thing I have learned, is Shinko. In terms of being a raid leader, there are two different types of raid leaders when you look at Sloan and you look at Shinko. Sloan is very methodical, thinks everything out a couple steps ahead, but sometimes that has come back to where we lose an FTE because we're still getting all our ducks in a row. Myself personally as a raid leader, I'm like, all right, we got 25 people, you guys should know what to do. You don't know what to do, get the fuck out. Let's go, we're going. Shinko's similar. So I favor both styles at different times. There's a time and a place for both. In Sloan's absence, Shinko's a qualified raid leader. I think we've had raid leaders in the past that just haven't put up to the test and they're no longer raid leaders. In terms of getting things done, Shinko and Sloan started FE. It was on their own initiative, amongst with a couple other friends of theirs that no longer play on the server. But the amount of motivation that they had to put this together, a year later, I think speaks a lot to someone's behalf. Shinko, being the troll that he is, puts his character in a certain light that doesn't allow people to see beyond the superficial, though. But in my own words and my personal feelings about him, I couldn't see FE without him, and I wouldn't have wanted to be a part of FE, at least not in the earliest stages, without him.
I would agree with that. Oh, go ahead, Knix. It's your turn.
Well, it's just that's where your opinion of Shinko is so different than mine. Because to me, he was always 100% troll, and he
is 100% troll. But the point is that there are a few people that tell Shinko, like, just shut the fuck up. I will kick you out of event, and I will de-guild you and throw you off my raid. And he will do the same. But the fact that most people don't push him back, which I think is what keeps him in check. The fact that he and Sloan love each other, but they don't get along at all. They've achieved so much from when they started the guild, but I don't think they've ever agreed on anything.
And I was going to say, I think I agree with you on most of the things that you said. And obviously, I don't know Shinko like you guys do, but having had to deal with him multiple times over the last few months, he is 100% troll on the outside. But when you tell him, like, look, I need you to be serious and explain to me what this is, he turns that off pretty quick. So.
He's also generous. It's been on his behalf a couple times in the past, and he's actually set precedents that I still follow. During the TMO suspension, we gave BDA and taking clean attempts at Draco and CT, and that's actually a precedent that Shinko set, which you wouldn't expect it to be of his doing, but early on in the server, not necessarily during TMO suspensions, but when we had opportunities to go for a mob or to pair up with another guild, it's usually been at his because of his spoken word to the guild that we're going to stand down and give another guild a chance. Whether or not we believe that the guild will actually successfully kill the target, usually sometimes we'll figure, well, the likelihood of them killing it is slim, but at least give them the opportunity. Whether or not that be the case, that's a precedent that even Sloan followed, I follow, and I encourage my other officers that might lead in my stead would do the same.
So now that we're kind of doing an impromptu forceful entry guild leader interview here, where do you see FE going moving forward and up and coming until Velius?
We're about to lose a fucking ogre warrior if he doesn't drop his group and take my invite. That's what I see happening.
You should guild disband that person.
I don't know what the server is going to do when Vilius drops. The dynamic will change so much. I would assume that any pre-existing agreements that this 1-1-1 plan couldn't possibly. I told you to drop your fucking group.
He's yelling at people in vent, by the way.
And spamming in caps. Still nothing.
Oh damn.
Where was I? Oh, I don't know what Velius holds for the server or what the server holds for Velius. It's my understanding, my belief that Velius is a myth still at this point. But moving beyond that, if it does actually happen, great. What do I see happening for FE? I don't think that either guild is ready to dominate the content in Velius the way that it is. Especially it's so vast, and I don't think the player base on this server will be what it was like on live. I think it'll be about maybe 50 to 60% of what typical live servers look like. But I think everything will be much more spread out because of that. I do think, it's my personal opinion, that guilds would benefit from consolidations. I think that IB and FE merging would be beneficial. I think if it might be to TMO's benefit to prospect other guilds that may want to team up with them, or if they have large enough of a retired player base to come back, that would be sufficient for them. But I don't think that any current agreements on the server would withstand Velius. And I just think that the amount of content would be too great. I mean, you think about it, you can have lower level groups farming inside the arena in Kale for faction and getting chainmail while another guild is in TOV or North TOV and another guild in Sky Shrine. The content is so vast, it's just so difficult to say. And to be honest, I don't know if I have no idea when Velius is going to launch. Your staff has been very hush-hush with any kind of release date, so I don't even know if I will be here on the server to experience Velius.
Yeah, Velius is kind of like... it's kind of like Area 51. Everybody knows it's there, but nobody can go there and nobody talks about it. But I can say that I have visited Velius. It is definitely not a myth. And if you guys didn't notice, in all statements about Velius coming soon, we have removed the TM. So that's a change. That's a thing. So, in your personal opinion, moving up into Velius, you think that everything's going to open up a bit more. There's hopefully going to be less stress in the raid scene.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, guilds will still, VP will still have viable loot. But Trakenon will be mostly abandoned. Why do we go after Trakenon for the most part? The Donald's VPs. Why? At this point, they're novelty. We really don't even use them, to be completely honest. Maybe if I have another clip. What do you use your BP? I rarely use my BP in a raid.
Okay, yeah, in a raid. You're right.
Yeah, in a raid I don't. Trakenon's dead before my first C heal gets off, and worst case scenario, I'd blow a Soulfire charge, so I don't have 20 seconds to wait for the BP. And I heal the group with Heroic Bond.
So, all of that being said, I am curious, and I think that lots of people are curious as well. What are FE's plans in regards to IB, or is that something that you can comment on?
It's a mixture of things, not at liberty to comment on, nothing concrete enough for me to comment on. I think that IB and FE have an outstanding relationship, and look forward to continuing to work with each other in one way or another. Should it be in the best interests of both of our guilds, because we are entertaining the wills and the wants of two different styles of leadership and two different guilds. So we have to act accordingly, at least on the FE end, and IB, I'm sure, feels the same way. Right. So whether or not FE and IB continue to raid together, or if we do, whether it's as two separate entities, one single entity under the same, similar names, different names, whatever it may be, we have a lot of our friends are intertwined. A lot of ex-IB are current FE, and a lot of ex-FE are current IB. So I don't see anything dematerializing in terms of our favors towards one another happening, or at least not to any capacity that would be detrimental to ourselves or the server. in terms of Velius, I do think that it would be wise if the two guilds cooperated under a single working entity as opposed to two, but I'm only one vote in that matter.
And Knix, how do you feel about Velius now that we've heard the FE side of things?
I don't know.
This
It's
is a
been so long.
strong, opinionated young woman.
I don't even think about it because I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh man, that is not the first time that I've heard that. Rest assured, Velius is definitely there, and it's definitely coming out. I've been there, I've seen it, I've looked at it, I've seen the things that are working. It's pretty fucking cool. It kind of makes me want to relinquish my position on the staff and go play, but I'm not going to be able to do that. Because then I think, in all honesty, the server might explode. But it's definitely there, it definitely is going to be a lot of fun, and it's definitely coming soon. I can say that too.
Yeah, I could see it coming soon. I guess I'm just it stresses me out a little bit. I like things that I know. I like things that are familiar, and I have become familiar with this content to a certain extent. And so there's a whole lot of unknowns and new zones that I forgot all about that I gotta relearn.
Certain unknown unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell mazes. You guys that I fear those unknowns probably more than you guys do, because I'm expected to know how everything works. So I'm going to spend a bunch. It's been years since I was in Valorant, and I don't even know those zones anymore, and I haven't played on live in like a decade. So it'll be interesting to see what all happens and what all goes on. And something else that'll be really interesting to see from a staff perspective is what strategies you guys use, how you go about things, what your loot plans are, who takes what faction. All that stuff is going to be pretty cool just to be around for.
I mean, it would be interesting if we can coordinate. I mean, pro guilds on P90 on live didn't conform to one single faction. They hit all three at different points.
Right.
So I think it would be interesting if we can coordinate to avoid stepping on each other's toes, but we'll see. I'm not necessarily a giant proponent of avoiding. To be completely honest, if I had to sum up this server in one, and I know that this is unfeasible, but I would say anything goes on P99. Griefing, training, whatever. But I know that isn't realistic, so I abandoned that as even a prospect.
It would get out of hand because we need something in place. Because here's the thing: if you say here's the rules, follow them, or you're going to get banned. If you do that, people are still going to break the rules. I mean, that's inevitable. And the people who do break the rules, some of them are going to get away because we just can't be everywhere at once. Eventually, they will get caught if they do it over and over again. But that being said, you need those rules there just so that people don't go absolutely crazy and destroy everything. If you take all the rules away and you say, have fun, everybody, train the shit out of each other, everybody's going to train the shit out of each other. Look what happened to VP when we took out... It's not like we went and we said, go train people to get dragons in VP. We just said there are no rules there, and everybody took it and just started destroying each other with trains. There was nothing stopping you guys from making your own agreement that says let's not train each other. But unless we say there's a rule against that, it's going to happen. So if we just go and we say, grief as much as you want, have fun, kind of like how the red server was up until very recently, you will kill people who are just here to have fun and don't want to get fucked with and don't want to fuck with other people.
I actually have to AFK for a few minutes, but
that's okay. You've been
likely
awesome.
I'll return. I'll be back.
Hi guys.
Wow, that's good timing. My God, I was gonna have to drop the stream if you didn't come back.
No, we're just rotating people in and out.
Well, that's good because I really need to smoke now. So you and Knix might have to drum something up for a few minutes here.
Hey, Knix.
Hey.
I'm eating a piece of pizza.
Oh, what kind of pizza is it?
It's this really shitty, like, $5 pizza that I got from my store.
Oh, I was expecting you to say pepperoni.
Oh, it actually is pepperoni. But it's a really shitty, like, $5 pizza. But it looks so good, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna cook it, I'm gonna eat it.
I hate those pictures on those boxes.
Oh, these people are cool. They don't even put a picture of pizza on the box.
That sounds like a fucking shitty pizza.
Dude, they know what they're giving you. It's $5.
That sounds absolutely awful.
It's not bad.
Cardboard with
They're
ketchup
like,
on.
hey, our pizza's so shitty, we're not even gonna try and dress it up with a nice picture.
Yeah, man. They're like, you know what you're getting here. We
It's
all know.
garbage. It's all garbage. I will actually be right back, though. We did an interview with Unbrella about FE, in case you were curious.
Did we?
Oh yeah, it was good stuff. And the raid scene, which is probably better that you weren't here for that anyway. But I will be right back.
I'm gonna go back and listen to this later and just lose my mind and start screaming.
You probably will. The bad thing is I can't talk for TMO, so I don't know. I can't make comments and stuff because I can't talk for TMO.
Right, but I mean, you could talk for yourself. I'm sure you have your own personal opinions.
I shared a few of my opinions. Uberbandit is in the stream chat, but he's not in the Skype call anymore.
Oh fuck! I muted myself. Sorry. Oh, I'm just all out of sorts this evening. Fucking. Well, did I miss anything good besides? I don't know. Did I miss anything good?
No, just that I don't like the current raid situation. But I think we've established that already.
Yeah, I think you made that pretty clear.
Yep.
That's alright. These are things, and sometimes they happen.
And we're all working within the bounds of this situation that is raiding on P99 right now.
Well, I see Uberbandit is in chat talking about ice cream. I want to know why he's not on Skype and why he's not in this call.
I seen him talking about. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking his volcano was coming from the bathroom.
No. Well, I don't want to talk about this. This is not family appropriate where this is gonna go. I think I've made my thoughts on the whole raid thing very clear too.
Yeah. So anyway, so why is there a lot of people thinking that were quitting? Was it just from that troll?
I think so. I think they all got trolled by Autotune. And people are just dumb and they believe everything they read on the forums, which they really shouldn't do.
Well, it's on the internet. Aren't you supposed to believe everything that's on the internet?
Well, it's on the internet. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's a thing. If it's on the internet, it must be true. The internet can't lie to people. That's just not a thing. So, are you in game, Knix?
I am. I am on my necro.
What's your necro doing?
I'm standing around looking bored because all of my characters are camped out waiting for the massive repop tomorrow, which is not a repop, it's just actual spawnage.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a thing.
One of two things will happen. Welcome back, Umbrella. Thank you. One of two things will happen. Things are just going to start to repop one after another, or the whole server is just going to repop.
Yeah, I don't know.
These are all possibilities. I will say that I have to wrap this up. So I'm gonna thank everyone. Umbrella, thank you, and Knix, thank you, and Derubael, thank you, and all you other people. www.project1999.com. Go there and get all the stuff you need to start playing, and click the follow button if you don't do that. And we'll talk to you later. Nick, say bye to everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Sirken.
And Umbrella, say bye to these fine people.
Till next time, everyone.
Until next time, truer words have never been spoken. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Dude.